A very warm welcome. It is Tuesday, the 9th of December, and we're looking at the number of the day. Rofhiwa, -9. Sounds not so good. This is a measure of consumer confidence. So the number of the day is -9. But if I can just give the context, this is for the fourth quarter. It's produced by FNB, BER, the Bureau for Economic Research. In quarter three, we were -13. In quarter one, we were -20. And this is a survey of how households are feeling about their economic futures. So if we start off at -20, then -9 is not too bad.
Not too bad. Moving closer to that zero, which would put us into that positive side of Francis. And it's actually, like you mentioned, the best performance we've seen in consumer confidence this year. And what that really tells us is that consumers are feeling a little bit more optimistic about their economic conditions. They're spending a little bit more. We saw the cut in interest rates. We saw getting off the grey list. We've seen lower fuel prices earlier in the year, and that's just added a little bit more into the pockets of consumers. In fact, some of the biggest spending that we saw was in durable products, which is the best spending we've seen in 6 years. So that kind of gives you a good sense of where consumers are heading into as we head into the festive season. It is a little bit less than what we saw last year this time, which was -6, but it's still a positive trajectory.
And does this equal good economic growth or something good for all of us?
Yeah, you've got cash circulating in the economy, right? As we enter the festive season, you're going to have consumers spending more. And because of the durable products that we're seeing that they're spending more on, it means they're spending more on big ticket items. So you've got quite a bit of economic activity happening in terms of cash flowing within the economy. That allows your retailers, for example, Francis, to hire people for jobs for the short term, even if it's not permanent work. There's contractual work that happens as retailers get busier and need more hands on deck for the festive season. So there are some positive green shoots, if you will, that you see.
That is why we have this little plant here.
Right?
It's not tall shoots, it's little green shoots.
That's right.
And I was looking more at the context because it's been really interesting to be in business news of late because there's a lot of good news, right? And it hasn't been like that for years. So -1 is the average since 1994. -9 still lower than the average since 1994. But it's interesting that this has been going all the way along. 2018, it went all the way up to 26 points, just to show you what a strong position we were in. Then remember, COVID hit. And then 2023, it was awful because there was load shedding and there was the cost of living crisis. So there was real
interest rates were at their all-time high. Yeah.
So we've really come out of a bad period, and hopefully these green shoots continue to grow. What was interesting was middle income here. So UCT would define middle class around 22,000 you or your household is earning. This is lower. They say middle income is 5,000 to 20,000 Rand a month, but that's a huge portion of the population feeling a bit better.
They are feeling a bit better. In fact, they are the ones that drove the consumer confidence that we're seeing in the fourth quarter. And they are the ones that are most affected. Higher income earnings are a little bit more buffered, if you will, by the economic circumstances. So
often they feel nothing, actually.
They often don't feel it, and the lower income earners feel it the most. But interestingly, I once read ShopRite reference this to say that lower income earners contribute significantly to spending and consumer confidence because of things like the social relief of distress grant, where they can go to their local ShopRite and spend on affordable products that they would have on offer. So that money circulates around the lower income as well. But like you say, it is the middle income that drives the consumer confidence that we're seeing.
Yeah, and lower income groups spend a significant portion of their salaries on food.
Yes.
A lot of their money goes on food. So we saw an uptick last time in quarter three among the lower earners, or maybe living on social grants, because at least food prices came down.
Yes.
But the middle income was suffering. Here, the middle income, how they define it, 5K to 20K, is looking better.
It's looking much better.
So that's been a real shift. Okay, so let's cling to that as we wrap up the number of the day. Another good economic sign, because confidence, if people are feeling better, they spend more, like we were saying, that results in tangible economic developments. Hopefully, there will be more growing soon. Ciao.